So I was initially about to do this as like a top 5 list, but I've put 4 of the people that I would pick in the thumbnail anyway. So I'll talk about them a little bit, but wouldn't be a bit redundant, wouldn't it? You can see my 4, so you can just watch my lovely face instead. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am MIDCARD, and today we are talking about WWE, in particular the Women's United States Championship and who should be the inaugural champion, which I think is an interesting question to put out there. I think talking about the United States Championship in general is an interesting topic, so we're going to dive into that in just a moment. But before we do, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below, and I'll try and apply to every single one of them as we dive into this. So, it was unveiled on SmackDown, the Women's United States Championship. It has arrived. We have finally got a mid-card belt for the women in WWE, and I have some mixed thoughts about it. So I like the idea of a mid-card championship. I think that really works. It gives people something to do because the tag titles are pretty much meaningless at this point. So having people fight over this belt, I think will make for some interesting stories, and I hope it's treated with the same amount of care that the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship are treated with as well. Where I fall down on the belt is it's just a copy. It's just a copy of the men's. I feel like we could have done something unique and interesting with the belt design, because all the belts in WWE are just copies of each other. Like the men's and the women's, just basically the same, just with a white strap. So I feel like there was a missed opportunity to do something really interesting, just do a completely new belt, whether it be a TV title or something like that. But it is what it is at the end of the day. I think the belt looks fine. That's about all I have to say about the look of the belt. Bit of a letdown. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about hypotheticals. We're here to talk about probabilities and what might happen and who should be the first champ, because that's a big accolade. To be the first ever champion of a new belt, you'll go down in the history books. They're technically the first women's mid-card champion ever on the main roster. So who should it be? I think there's a few avenues to go down. Now, I'll give you my pitch on what I want this first reign to be, because there's something very specific that I'd like to see from this. And I don't want to see this belt treated like a prop, because what I've felt with the women's main titles is that the titles have been an afterthought for a while, particularly with the Liv Morgan-Rhea Ripley feud. It hasn't even felt like Liv Morgan is champion half the time. The Nia-Tiffany relationship has sort of been about the belt, but it has sort of taken a backseat to the Money in the Bank briefcase. So what I want to see out of this title, this United States title, is the title means something to that person. The title to be important, and for it to be defended with that kind of respect and that kind of honour, and just put on banger matches, because I feel like as much as faction stuff is good, it's everywhere right now in WWE. There's just factions all over the show, and all this like drama, soap opera drama within these factions. So I think this needs to be held solely by one person. This doesn't necessarily need to be part of an ongoing feud, someone's eyeing up the belt on that side who's in their group kind of thing. I just want this to be one person, kind of like Obafemi in NXT, who just batters people and puts on incredible matches and really elevates like the prestige of that title, which is why my pick, and I'll do my first pick, usually save the first pick till the end, but it is what it is. My number one pick for this is Blair Davenport, because for anyone who's seen the former Bea Priestley or Blair Davenport, whether it be her stuff in NXT UK or whether she was like top gaijin over in Japan, she can do that. She's awesome, she's incredible, and I feel like she's not had the sort of breakthrough onto the main roster that I thought she had. Like, I'm not sure if she's injured at the moment, I'd have to double check that, but where has she been? on SmackDown. I had to look. I had to go on the WWE website to check that Blair Davenport was still on the SmackDown roster, and apparently she is. So I think this would be really, really good in terms of elevating her to the next level, because this title can really be that jump, particularly if you do it with a tournament. Have her destroy everyone in the tournament, have her win the belt, and then just defend night after night on SmackDown. Just treat that belt like it matters, like it really, really means something. And I think Blair Davenport is the woman to carry the United States Championship for like 6 months, and then have a really plucky up-and-coming babyface be the one to beat her, elevate her into that main title scene. She's just that good, and I think that's the way to go with that. The other picks that I think, my other three, kind of go against what I said earlier, but I think obvious pick is Chelsea Green. Obviously, she's just so funny, she's hilarious, but I would rather see Chelsea Green with a Money in the Bank or with a world title, in my opinion. I think she doesn't need that. She doesn't need a mid-card title. I think she needs a world title or Money in the Bank to really sort of establish her act and establish what she is. I really thought she should have won Money in the Bank this year, but yeah, I don't see it with a mid-card title as much as people really, really want it to happen. My other pick, Kairi Sane, that's just selfish because I love Kairi Sane. Like, Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler are like my NXT champions, and I just want to see them have banger matches. Shayna Baszler has sadly been pure fusion collected into the ground, so that probably won't be happening. But I think Kairi Sane would do really well with the belt. Open challenges, have great matches. I think just with Io potentially having the world title and Kairi potentially having the mid-card title, I think that's a nice dynamic to have in a faction. I don't want to see any sort of dissension between the two, but if you're going to go the route of factions, that's the way I think you should go, is put it all in Damage Control, because Damage Control are the best damn thing in the women's division. And my other pick, also pretty absent, we last saw her in, I believe, the dumpster match with Chelsea Green, is Mia Yim, because she's just great as well, isn't she? She's really good. She knows how to wrestle. She's fantastic. So I think this belt needs to elevate someone, which is why my two picks would be Michin and Blair Davenport, because they're on the precipice. They need that extra push to the next level, and I don't think just shoving this belt into a faction will help establish it, really. I really love what Braun's doing with the Intercontinental title. He doesn't need a faction around him. He's just a badass, and that's not how like women's titles are portrayed in WWE. So I think strap the belt to Blair Davenport and have her be that awesome, dominating mid-card champion, and give her a really nice 6-month reign. That will be my pick. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Who do you want to win the Women's United States Championship? Let me know and I'll try and apply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.